kick-ass band from the Northwest. Been around for quite a while now. They have 3 CDs under their belt. I think they've been around since about 2001.
Yep.
The Sins, and we have in the studio Lee and Fish joining us. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing good, thanks.
It's good to have you guys aboard. And you guys took a little hiatus as a band, and you guys are back in full swing of things. And how's that feel?
That's awesome. It's wonderful. It's just great to be back playing again. And it just seems renewed vigor with the audience, and just very exciting. So, yeah, we love it.
Well, the track we came in with is titled Temple of the Midnight Sun, and it's off of your CD, your latest CD, The Undone, by The Sins, and it has 12 tracks on it. It's a great CD. We've been playing a lot of it on NWCZ Radio.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the progression of the band from this one. You know, the first when you guys first hit the scene, you guys are playing. Now it was like 10 years later, and you have the Undone out. And tell us how
So a little bit of
worked for you
history
guys.
on us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The violin player, Jerry Glenn, and I were in a band called Tri-State Killing Spree back in the day. I actually played bass for Tri-State, and I got a little tired of being a bass player, and I wanted to go back to my true love, which was the guitar. So I started looking for bands out there, and I was about ready to call it a day because there just wasn't a lot of bands looking for guitar players out there. And then I came across this ad in The Stranger that said, band seeks guitarists, nightmareboy.com. And I went, oh, Nightmare Boy, that sounds kind of interesting. So I went, and I was at work at the time, and I went online, I checked out the website, and I see this crazy-looking singer with crazy, he looked like the character Hyde from that 70s show with his glasses on. And he's wearing a Sisters of Mercy t-shirt, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, okay, now I'm interested. So I went to the music section, pushed play, and I listened to a song called Ecstasy and Oblivion, which was ultimately recorded on the first CD there. Within the first 15 seconds, I sent an email saying, I love you guys' stuff. Even if I can't get it, if you go with another guitar player, I want to at least get a CD because I really like your music. And Jeff emailed me back, and Jeff went and emailed me back, and we started talking. And before the end of the song was over, we had an audition, or we were all set. And my audition for The Sins was basically just going out and hanging out and drinking with them. You know, we all met up.
Give this guy a gig with us.
Yeah.
You know, I know he's probably got chops, but there's other things that we need to deal with.
That's exactly it, too.
It's like, you know, actually after the show, guys, I'd like to go back and just kind of read a couple books, you know, and, you know, you guys can go do your thing, but I'm just going to hang out here and write a thesis, you know, what you're looking for, right?
So we had a blast, and I think we just all ended up getting crazy that night, and it was a lot of fun. Back then, we had a different lineup. Jerry had left Tri-State since I had joined The Sins, and so I asked him, hey, would you be interested in coming and playing with us? We originally started with a keyboardist, and we lost him, he moved away, and Jeff says to me, well, what are we going to do with the electric violinist? You know, because you don't really think of a violin player in your typical rock band, you know, but, you know, take your image of what you think a violinist is, and, you know, give him a spiky black mohawk and paint his violin blue, and there's Jerry. And so he came in and just kicked ass, and let's see. Then we had a guy named Tommy with us for a while, who Jerry and I played with. And I had actually been following Fish's ad in The Stranger for about a year, and
Following it? You've been following his ad?
This ad.
I've never heard of stalking an ad.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at it, and I'm like, God, he still hasn't found a band. I haven't met this guy yet. And I don't know if you remember that ad, but
I remember the ad. I mean, I put it out there. And for a year, and I did run into a few bands like Betty Axe and Charlie Brown, and a lot of bands that don't even exist anymore. And I was looking for something in the dark, hard rock, industrial vein, because I moved here to Chicago back in 2001, originally from Chicago, and the first band that I joined was a band called Static Fugue, which was pretty much what I was doing back in Chicago, and I thought to myself, I'm just treading water, so I wanted to try
Actually
something new.
auditioned for them too. So.
Did you?
Yeah, not when he was in the band. though.
Oh.
So I wanted to try something
That's that
different.
stalker guy, don't?
Yeah, I was stalking him.
I know that.
I wanted to try something different, and I thought that I was the best bass player in the history of bass players when I auditioned for these bands like Charlie Brown and Betty X, and I can't even remember any of the other ones, but they all just turned me down, and my level,
Self-esteem.
I know, my self-esteem was just dropping
Welcome
like
to
a
Seattle.
stone. And I was pretty much ready to hang it up until was it you who replied to my ad?
Yeah.
Eventually, he's like, damn it.
There's another person.
I took a
coming in.
chance and said, okay, I'm going to
He
give this
felt
guy a
charity
call.
on you.
I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, he met me, he gave me a CD, he said, play these songs, listen to them, and come to the audition. And before I went there, I got some solemn advice from my lovely wife. She told me, go in there, when you go into that audition, don't assume that you already have it. And I was coming in there thinking, I'm just going to come in there, answer some questions, play my bass, and never see these guys again. Par for the course for me. And so I did. I came in there. I was very nice, very cordial. They seemed very nice and
We
cordial
messed
to
with
me.
him a little bit.
And,
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
and afterwards, I said, I'm never going to see them again. But then I got another call about a week or so after from Lee. Yeah, no, saying for a second interview, it's like, okay, they're just yanking my chain. I need to see it for kicks. So I came in there and did it again.
They just make fun of you when I
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That probably,
We
yeah.
gotta get that guy in again.
That was funny.
I don't know what happened.
But, eventually I did get in, but they told me that I pretty much had it years after
I
the
had to
fact.
give him a ride home, and he was just like, so what do you think? Did I get it? Did I get it? And I already
Oh, man.
knew, but I had to keep it a secret. And I
Just
had
keep trying.
Yeah, it's like,
You gotta love the way bands mess with each other.
Yes, they did.
All right, let's go into another track. The track is Abigail, our band. We're talking to right here, The Sins, and the name of the CD is The Undone, which I highly recommend you get yourself a copy of. This is a fantastic CD. Tell people where they can get a hold of this.
You can get that off of our website, thesinsband.com. You can find it on iTunes. You can get it off of reverbnation.com/thesins. CD Baby. I think we're even on what's the Zoom player.
Wherever you can buy stuff. Yeah.
My children need
No,
wine.
is it in any of the independent stores around? Like, is it a Rocket Records?
Are there any of those around anymore?
There's a few.
I believe we're at,
Easy Street or Sonic
Yeah, I
Boom
think
or any of those?
I think we're at Silver Platters.
Yeah, silver platter.
Okay, very good. Well, now your first CD, which was titled "The Beginning," and I love the titles of these CDs. they all have something going on. It's a very different sound, and it's very cool. Now, tell me about. I'm reading your bio, and it says that basically when you guys released this, DJs all over coast to coast and in Europe started playing tracks off of this. How did you hear it? Because this is really before Facebook and a lot of the social media where you could find out about this stuff. How were you guys getting feedback from these clubs and stuff?
Back then it was mp3.com and bsonic.com.
And Napster, right?
That's how we. It was right after Napster.
Oh, okay.
There, so, and that's kind of how we first got it out there. And back then we were. We kind of started off under, dare I say it, the G word. We started off as a goth band. And if you guys don't know who that is, just think of old Sisters of Mercy and Mission UK Bauhaus. We started off with that as our influences, and then we got a little heavier as time went on. So, and I didn't get to finish telling you about how we met our drummer Jamie. So, how did we meet Jamie? I think I found him. But.
Yeah, I believe you found it. You pretty much single-handedly put this band together. You found Jerry, you found me, you found Jamie.
That last song, that's one of my favorite songs on the album, Abigail. Violin playing, the songwriting, the story behind the song.
Not a keyboard, by the way.
Not a keyboard.
Nice.
And then when we play it live, the drum fills. I just love listening to Jamie play. And he really, took the bull by the horns with this album and built his own studio up. And interesting fact about this album is it was actually recorded all over the internet with none of us in the same room together.
Nice.
It originally Sinister Records on a compilation that was being put out. I can't remember what it's called.
Memento Mori.
Memento Mori.
Memento Mori.
Yeah, and so we started off doing the single, and from there it just kind of grew into the whole album. We all started building up our studios, getting the software together. Recorded to a click track, send it over to Jamie there. He recorded it in his studio, sent it back to me. Fish would come in, lay down a bass track down, and send it over to Jeff. He'd lay his vocals, and we just kind of put it all together that way. We were never actually in the same room together. So we kind of got all the best tracks together, got it sounding what you hear now, and mastered it up. We had a little help from the
Hive. That was the only studio time that we had.
Yeah.
That and Jeff's vocals.
And Jeff's vocals there, yeah. So, but yes, okay. So back to your original question, which I kind of went off on a tangent. Which
No, that's all right.
what
was that original question again?
Yeah.
Well, I just asked how you guys heard. You answered it. It was how did you hear from all these places?
Yeah, we started to get contacted by him, or you start seeing reviews pop up all over the internet. It was really cool. It was really cool. I mean, we were a local band getting all this stuff around the world, and it was just awesome. Great feeling there. Still didn't make any money at it, but,
Well, that happens.
But I would assume it was kind of a big deal back then for you, as
yeah.
opposed to today, where someone in Reykjavik say, "I like sales, they're good,"
Yeah.
but that's not a big deal because of all of the network sites like Blast FM.
Yeah.
I've known your guys' stuff and name for years.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Why haven't you seen us live? Eventually.
Give her, we give her a little bit of stuff.
You give me slack? Okay, back to the guys.
Now, so tell us a little bit about your influences as individuals, because I was talking to Fish earlier. He writes down that Paul Jones, Dee Dee Ramone, Jack Bruce, Roger Waters. I mean, those are some heavy hitters right there. And so you're bringing that in as your influences. And who else influenced you, and who do you pattern yourself after? And same for you, Lee.
Oh, wow. Well, there's just a number of bases, the ones that you mentioned, and I guess you can go to Dee Dee Ramone. I guess you can go to, I can't remember his name, the bass player from The Clash, Paul Simonson, yes.
Yes, it's Paul Simon.
It is.
Good work.
But pretty much a lot of those bass players who aren't necessarily super flashy. I've got nothing against the super flashy bass players out there, because I know there are a great deal of bass players that
Yeah,
are
but
better than me.
all those guys you mentioned, you're right. They're not flashy, but they stood there and they thundered the house down.
That's-
Solid.
I like just
Unbelievably solid. I've seen all those guys live.
Uh-huh.
And you watch those guys, and they hardly move a muscle.
Well, I'm very animated. I mean, I'm from the Jeff Ahmed school of bass players that jump around like an idiot.
Nice.
But when I saw Ben Shepherd of Soundgarden, and the song that just really just gets to me is the song "Jesus Christ Pose" off of their album Bad Motorfinger, and just the way that bass line just thunders and rumbles. It's like that's what a bass player is
That's the
supposed to
best
do.
album ever. I'm only in the town right here right now.
Ever?
They're
Did you see that look
They're
in his
best.
eye?
They're best album ever. That's
Yeah,
all there.
I
Oh,
agree.
okay. That's album ever.
I didn't say best album ever. I said that's their best
Okay.
Their
album.
best album. I don't know. You gotta give props to Super Unknown as
I
well.
like
Yeah, props, but it's not.
I like the old Soundgarden. Back, Loud Love.
You don't like Ben Shepherd, do you?
I've seen Ben Shepherd live, and dude's awesome. I saw him at Rock Candy.
Oh,
Puts on a good show.
Andy, now you're bringing up some good Indians right there.
A little
So
older than I look.
Lee, who do you listen to? Who influences you?
Oh, man.
Who do you look up to?
Oh, God, there's so much. I started playing guitar after watching Eddie Van Halen way back when. I got to meet Billy Duffy from The Cult. He was a big influence. Dick Dale, as I said before, was a big influence. Daniel Ash, who played the guitar player for Bauhaus, played some really cool stuff. Johnny Marr from The Smiths. Yeah. There's just so much out there. Recently, Los Lonely Boys, Henry Garza, great guitar player. I got to see them live. It was one of the best shows I ever saw.
Yeah.
We saw the Silver Sun Pickups recently. That's a new band.
They're a
That's out there.
great band.
Yeah, I saw them live,
I like
and
those
after I saw them, I'm like, oh, I'm going out and get the buzz pedal and put a bunch of delay on it, just hit it,
That's where it's at right now. That's what I'm doing.
It's all about the fuzz.
I love the Black Keys. They are just awesome. I like a lot of old blues. I've been getting a lot of blues. You can't go wrong with Johnny Lee Hooker. He's just got some great stuff there. Joe Bonamassa is another one that's really great.
If you haven't dialed in with Hound Dog Taylor,
Oh yeah.
Hound Dog Taylor, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, well, that is a diverse group of influences.
And that's just the two of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can the rest of them, that's in there.
There's like 42 others.
5 members in the band, and it all comes together nicely. In fact, let's listen to another track of this entire blend titled Tonight.
Hit it.
All right, name of the track is Tonight. The band, The Sins, and the CD is titled The Undone.
The Undone?
The Undone.
I'm done.
The Undone.
We
It's
did it,
titled
Billy.
The
Undone it.
Undone. We have Lee and Fish joining us. Now, tell real quick, because we're going to wrap this up, but you guys did sort of a self-imposed hiatus, kind of took some time off. Tell us what went into that, and then how did you guys, did you take that in mind that you were going to get together and keep going, or was that the
I
end?
always knew. I always knew we'd get back together.
He's nodding his head over here. He's shaking his head over here. That's great. I love it.
I
love
honestly
it.
thought
Guys,
it
we're
was gonna
both
happen.
like, no, yes.
I honestly thought we were done, but that whole time that I was, going through 15 different bands for that short 3 years, my wife just kept telling me, "You guys are gonna get back together."
Well,
Awesome.
we kept in touch through it all.
Oh, yeah.
And we stayed friends, and we were always emailing each other.
There was no black blood.
Well, was it a, we're just,
We just got burned out.
Burnt out, we're
Yeah.
done,
I think it was-
take some time off, or?
We were playing like almost every other weekend back then, so yeah, it was just. I think it was just time for a break. We were all just kind of. Plus, we got different things. We're all kind of different directions. We're all kind of going in. I think it just came.
And then
to
who
a
broke
head.
the ice to bring it back? Who made the
I-
first call? Did you?
There he
Who
is.
broke the ice to bring us all back together? Actually,
it's
I'll tell you. I did a funny story of how that happened. And again, it involves Fish. You were playing with.
So he put an ad on Craigslist.
Red Singer. His first gig, was it your first gig with Red Singer?
No, it wasn't my first gig. It was a record release party for Red Singer.
Yeah, and so the Sins crashed it. Jeff came in from Ohio. I was rehearsing around the corner with another band. I came down the street. Jerry drove up from Enumclaw. And I don't know, Jamie couldn't make it, but we all just kind of converged on it there. And we've been talking by email about, this band of it sucks. Let's get together and show them.
It was drunk talk. It started off with drunk
Or anything just put that thing on. And then we have a big barbecue. Took over the world.
So I was actually doing some recording with Jerry back then, and I went over to his house to do some of that, and he said, "Oh yeah, well here and play Abigail." And so I just laid the track down in his studio, and boom, just went from there. That's kind of how it started. So.
Well, we're all
awesome.
super glad you guys are back.
Yeah, I am.
We've been big fans of the Sins for a long time. And do you guys have any gigs coming up you guys want to talk about?
We are playing the Black Mountain Indie Music Fest down in Las Vegas. We got invited.
We'll be there.
All right.
It's a pretty cool thing there. It's about it's a green festival. It's about keeping the environment clean and stuff. So we're just very excited to be a part of it, and the fact that we actually got chosen to do this.
The only Northwest band.
The
Both of them
only
are coming out of LA.
It's hard to get.
And it's a
hard to
green
get
fest?
love up here.
Yeah. So we're going down to represent Seattle and Vegas. So
Nice.
Anything else going on yet, or we just gearing up and
Local,
ready?
anything coming up?
We're actually going to probably take another little break here.
In 2014.
My singer Jeff is
We'll do the
actually
return of the Undone.
my singer Jeff is actually
redone.
getting married, so we're going to take some time off for that. But we've actually already started recording our next album.
Awesome.
So we've got
Nice.
probably about 6 or 7 tracks. They're in
Ready to go.
yeah, they're all in the scratch tracks phases right now.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to that. Good luck in Vegas. Last question before we let you go. If you, and you can each answer it separately, obviously, if you could tour, the Sins could tour with any band right now across the U.S., who are you going with?
Whoever is the biggest headlining band,
Lady
so we can
Gaga.
get the most exposure. I'd like to say a shout out to, if I could,
Yes,
my amazing girlfriend Angela. Hello, I love you, baby. And it's her little sister's birthday, and her little sister is actually going to be listening into the show in
Nice.
Tucson, Arizona tonight. So, happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Lauren.
Lauren! Yay!
So, who would you like to tour with, Fish?
Queens of the Stone Age.
There you go. Easy as that.
It's just that easy.
That's right. And the band name is easy. The Sins.
The Sins, not the Shins.
Or Shim. Totally different names.
The CD is titled The Undone, and it's been a pleasure to have you guys in. Looking forward to the new CD when it comes out, and we will definitely have you guys back in.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks.
Da-da-da-da.